What's up everyone, and I'm here to talk about probably one of the most hyped and excited for cameras of 2018, and it's not the Sony a7S Mark III, which we don't really know if it's coming out this year, but the camera we do know that's coming out on February 15th of 2018, this is shot before that, is the Fuji X-H1. Not this guy right here, but something in the same family. So a lot of you watch me know I'm a Fuji X Pro 2 user, and this is probably one of my favorite cameras of all time, in the top 3, and I just really like what Fuji does. I just wish they were full frame, but I don't find that happening anytime soon. Now this X-H1 is a really big deal because of what it offers and what people really wanted, especially on the video side of things for Fuji. Usually if you were more into the video play, you wanted to get the X-T2. If you wanted more still side of things, dual SD cards, all that kind of stuff, you went for the X Pro 2 right here. And this X-H1 is a great combo of a couple of these combined all together. It kind of has a look of the GFX. It's got a really fat grip on the right-hand side, a magnesium alloy body, and it's got a really cool like 1.28-inch LCD screen up top that looks very modern and not like the old school looking ones that Canon, Nikon, etc. still use to this day. So this X-H1 will be a crop sensor camera, so you're not going to get anything different there. Don't let that deter you. You're still going to get your 24.3 megapixels. You're getting that amazing what the X-T2, X Pro 2 uses, the X-Trans 3 CMOS sensor into this guy right here, and that's a very, very strong sensor. It's just beautiful of what it can do and what it can produce, and just, it's so reliable. ISO range, you're gonna go native from 200 to 12,800. Fuji is very, very, very good in low light, so you never ever have to worry about something like that. And this is gonna be one of the first times that there's gonna be 5-axis in-body stabilization in a camera like this, and that is huge for you know, lower light photography. You need to mess around with your shutter, or if you're shooting video. And that's the one big thing that Fuji wanted to do with this camera. They wanted to concentrate more onto serious video to maybe take on something like a Panasonic GH5. We'll talk about that in a little bit. So you're going to get no low pass filter on this, so you're not going to get anything to, you know, mess it up or anything like that. You're going to get up to 5.5 stops with that 5-axis in-body stabilization, so you have a lot of room to play there, and you can really get whatever you need done. Now the big thing is there's a lot of new body design with this X-H1. As I said, it's magnesium alloy, dust and splash resistant, or proof to a certain extent, actually. You're going to get dual SD cards, and even just what Fuji has everywhere. On the back right here, I don't know if you could see it, is your little thumb switch right here. This thing moves the autofocusing around quickly, easy, and it's just super easy to use. Now, like I said, it's going to be a mix between the two things. It's going to be a 3-inch touchscreen on the back, and you have it to where it like folds out. It's kind of articulating, but it's not fully articulating, but it still moves, so that way you can shoot at lower angles, especially if you're doing video. Film simulation that a lot of people were looking for, and I mentioned this back in December, and that's that Eterna look. If I can find the look right here, it'll be on this right here. If not, you're just going to hear me say Eterna and go from there. But that is a lot of what was hyped, and people really like that look of that discontinued film. But that's really what a lot of people who are going to invest in this camera are the video settings, and we have them right here. And the one big thing that they wanted to stress besides video is that they improved their phase part of their AF detection, and that they've improved about 1.5 stops, so you're going to get even better autofocusing, especially when you're doing continuous. So I really like to see them get around the Sony level of things. If they could do that, they're really a step under Canon dual pixel Sony. So if Fuji figured that out, that will be a huge play for them. And Fuji's got great color rendition and everything, so it'd be interesting to see if people start to flock that way and really kind of distinguish themselves from Sony. But Sony's pretty hard to beat in the video game. That being said, you are getting 4K video, something which Canon still isn't doing with this Fuji X-H1. You're getting your Cinema 4K in 17:9 format. You're getting your DCI 4K. You're going to get 24, 30 frames per second for those. You're also going to get full 1080p at 120 frames per second. So if you want that insane slow motion, you can really overcrank the footage and do that. You're also going to get a high bitrate of 200 megabytes per second. F-Log will be built into this. That's Fuji log. It's more of a flat profile, like Canon C-Log, Panasonic and stuff all uses that kind of stuff. But with this log, they're saying that you can get 12 stops of dynamic range What more do you want? The other cool part is that with this as well, you could shoot 4K directly, even using F-Log, to an SD card. So you're going to have to get a really good SD card, obviously, that can keep up with it. But the fact that you don't have to like go through anything, you get it clean out and you can do that is a very big deal. And the one other thing they're saying is that there is an EVF, your electronic viewfinder improvement, where it's essentially going to be semi or near blackout free, which Sony has been cranking out with the A9, the A7R Mark III, essentially, where you didn't get any blackout while you're photographing, so that way you don't miss anything. The response time, you're going to get around 0.005 seconds, so almost nothing, and you're going to get 100 frames per second, and it's going to look pretty smooth. You're not going to get any kind of jittering or anything in that EVF. Really, the only other two things to cover is not 100% sure on the battery being used. It probably will be the same as everything else. If that's the case, the battery life will be pretty decent, but still needs to be improved a little bit. The other thing is, when you have the grip for this Fuji X-H1, you're going to also get improved video recording time. When you shoot 4K, you're going to get up to 30 minutes recording. And this is where it kind of says, like, where does this place it against, like, the Panasonic GH5? I'd like to hear your thoughts and everything down below. Like I said, we're going to hear about this on February 15th, and it's going to be, I believe, shipping sometime in March. Now, right now, the conversion and everything that the price is in euros, and it's about $18.99, body only. So, converted to US, you're about $2,300. And even when the rumors first came out, you were looking at around that $1,900 to $2,300 range. So it doesn't look like it's going to veer far from that. If it does, I will link a pin post down below. I'll pin it down below. But this is a serious camera that Fuji is putting out here. It's not going to be necessarily your run and gun like these a little bit smaller ones. This is for the Fuji user who wants to have, you know, an improvement on stills, something more than they already have, but they want to concentrate more on video as they're staying within the Fuji you know, family of things, as it's going to have the X mount. You can use the lenses, and Fuji's really gearing up to release more lenses and everything to go with this. This is going to be the big play of 2018 for them for about $2,300. It's interesting, but you have to see how the autofocus will perform, because that's what a lot of people are looking forward to, you know, and that was one of the reasons why the Panasonic GH5 was kind of a letdown for people, because it was hard to adapt to and find how to do the autofocus, and that's why a lot of people turn to Canon or Sony. So if Fuji steps up their game and it looks very good for video, they've set themselves up to really take off in 2018. Let me know your thoughts down below. Are you excited for this Fuji X-H1? Do you think that Fuji shouldn't really be messing with video? Should they be sticking more to stills and everything like that? And you can go from there. And let's just have some fun with it. I will definitely be getting my hands on with this at some point. I can even try and pre-order it and see if I can get some help getting it, because it'd be very, very interesting to test. And even maybe kind of doing a side-by-side against this guy right here will be kind of cool.